Good morning, traders. Today is Saturday, April 7th, 2018. And of course, you know what that means. That means we are 1 month, 30 days away from launching our effort. So we're getting there. We're getting there. I want to spend some time today talking about the continued build out, the continued evolution. But I also want to reach out to those of you that are just traders in general, not going to be a part of this effort, and talk about ES rhythms that we're seeing a lot of lately. That's worth noting, worth discussing, and driving a lot of us crazy. So we'll certainly get to that in a little bit. But I do want to start with the room build out. I got lots of notes here, so a lot going on. A reminder that you should have received an email if you're part of this, basically providing you a thank you option if you are able to or interested in referring someone or bringing someone into the room. I'll basically give you credit. Basically, it's like buying you dinner for a thank you for helping get the word out. I'm very careful on how I'm doing this in terms of outreach, in terms of marketing, for lack of a better word. I think word of mouth is a great way to build this, and it's served me well over the past 20 years as I've done things like this. So if you're interested in have someone that you know that you want to bring along, I think I said, well, so $25, I'll buy you dinner, essentially in the form of a credit on your first month. So I thank you for that. I appreciate for that. Just wanted to remind you of that. Questions? Do you have to be familiar? Do traders have to be familiar with my past material? No, you do not. We are certainly providing opportunities if you haven't been involved in the past to get a hold of that information at discounted prices. But I'm not pushing it. It's not a prerequisite. We will do fine if you come in just where you are. And that's another point in terms of when I say just where you are. Another question that's come up is I know that some folks have felt intimidated, right? And in terms of, well, gee, I'm not really where I think I ought to be part of this. And I know in the last video I mentioned the third of the people I kind of knew, really good traders, and that kind of thing. I want to reassure everybody that you don't need to be a stellar trader. You don't need to have years of experience. This is intended to cater to the entire spectrum. I think I mentioned either on a recent video or email that my intent is to build something here that will help everybody increase their profitability compared to where it is now. Everybody. So if you're a super trader, let's keep all that good stuff and let's just push you a little bit more. If you're a trader who's in a slump or you're just starting out, obviously you've got more room to rise there. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So I want to reassure that we're building this out to really cater to everybody in terms of level experience. All right. I want to make that point. Again, do you need to be familiar with my material? No, you don't. You don't. If you have purchased in the past, you've been involved in the past, you're getting a discount for the room that will be permanent, right? And again, if you want some of this stuff, I know some people have reached out. They said, gee, I want to spend part of this month really getting to know all your stuff. Well, again, there's options for the webinars. If you're interested, and we're discounting the heck out of those things for you. But I'm not trying to be pushy there. Okay, I had an in-depth conversation with Robin Dane. Robin Dane, if you don't know, has been a trader coach for years. She's worked with some of the major hedge funds. She's been on CNBC, Bloomberg, ABC News. She and I have a relationship that goes back a decade and a half, I think, maybe even more. She's been my personal coach at times, and she is, and I am honored to have her be a part of our effort. She is going to be coming in every 2 weeks. We're going to call it Wednesdays with Robin at 5 p.m. Eastern Time when all the markets are closed. We're going to take advantage of that, and that's going to start in mid-May. And we'll get her on an every other week cadence. And one of the cool things that we're doing is one of the channels that we have in our chat room is a channel entitled Topics for Robin, so that what you can do anytime over the course of the 2 weeks, just go ahead and put some notes in there, like putting stuff up on a bulletin board, and then when she comes in, that she'll be referencing those and she'll be addressing those to the extent possible. So that's going to be huge. For $3.95 a month, there's a lot of you folks are paying less than that because you've worked with me in the past. You're going to get professional coaching tips in a group environment, certainly, twice a month. And Robin Dane, thank you so much. She's been so gracious. She's also going to be part of the Jelly program, the 1 week that leads into the live effort. She's going to be there, and she's going to be spending some time with us, and she has a presentation there as well. So, again, I thank her for that. I'm thrilled. I'm trying to provide as much value here as possible on an ongoing basis for everybody. Other notes. Focus. I've mentioned a couple of times it's going to be incredibly important to foster an environment which is very focused. Okay, and we've tried to do that by having different channels set up so that we can just trade. It's going to be very important that we have everybody following the same bias, and that's the intent of the stream. That's the intent of the stream. We've made even a couple of more tweaks to that compared to what I've been tweeting lately. That is going to provide more helpful triggers and just a more helpful visual for you without getting it too complex. So it's going to be about getting everybody in the same mindset, right, to start the day, and getting everybody to follow the same cadence. Okay, that's going to be very, very important. As I tell people when I do the Jelly programs, I'm going to stipulate to the fact that everybody in there is smart. I respect you all, and I love you, right? We'll start off with that assumption. Having said that, I'm going to have to really make sure that we are a focused team. I've used the analogy of the crew rowing together, and I'm going to be that guy that is trying to get everybody in that same cadence. And it's going to be very important for us to do that collectively. So, the question has come up, are we going to have people post trades in there? And I'm still working through that because I've seen the good and the bad of that sort of a thing. I certainly see the benefit of people in terms of gaining confidence when they're doing what they're doing in line with what we're narrating to in terms of bias. It does reinforce the concept for people. And it's a mental mindset. I talked to my broker about this, right, just this past week. So to the extent that we do that sort of thing, that can be helpful. At the same time, we don't want to have trades posted that are contrary or using some other stuff versus what we're looking at. So we'll work through that. I guarantee you, however we land there, that it will work, and we're going to have everybody in a common direction, common themes, and I'll be sharing what I'm doing. One of the challenges in a lot of these rooms is that everybody's just doing a bunch of different stuff, and you look at it, and there's no way you can figure out what's going on. So we're going to have isolated channels, and we're going to have a focused discussion, probably a very limited chat discussion in what we're calling the main trading room. While I'm on audio, we'll post some charts, we'll post some pictures because that stuff gets saved. But a lot of it will be via audio. Some people have asked, will we be recording audio? No, we will not be recording audio. This is like we're all in the same room together. If you're in the room, great. If you're not in the room, you got to get in the room. Okay. If you've stepped out, that's just the way it is. It's like we're all together in one room. The information would likely be stale anyway if we were to try to record that. So that's a question I know we have addressed in the FAQ. Indicators. We've made it possible again through streaming technology for you to see the bias grid and the QM Delta screens. That's all included in what you're getting. If you so choose to want to have that on your personal PC because you trade other markets, because I know you're going to see how benefit this is. This is not a bait and switch tactic, okay? It will be available to you if you want to have it, right? But again, I'm not going to push it. If you're watching ES, trading ES, watching our stuff, this is all you need is the streaming. So I just want to let people know because some have asked. That is going to be available for folks that want it. I've worked with the guy that's providing that technology, and he's giving us that ability at a reduced rate as well. So that's something that I just want to plant with you. What else? I've hired a trader for me. I've hired a trader, and I may be hiring one more. He and I have been back and forth working together on audio the last couple of days. The account is being set up. So he will be trading for me, which will do a couple of things. It will actually I'm still going to trade, by the way. I'm still going to trade, but it's going to help me diversify a little bit to the extent that I might not be focused during any point in time. He's going to be trading for me. So that's huge. That's good news for everybody. what else? What else? What else? Several people are coming into this effort under what I would consider to call a life reboot. I have hooked up with folks from the past. Roderick, you and I spoke last night. Great conversation. Appreciate that. Fridays seem to bring out the best and worst in traders in terms of experiences, in terms of slumps, in terms of where we are and that kind of thing. And I've spent the last 5 Fridays actually now, for some reason or other, talking to a trader. So we're reacquainting friendships, and a lot of you people have gone through, we all go through stuff in life. You know, I'm still adapting to my tinnitus. You know, we're going to do this together. This is not meant to be a one-time thing. This is meant to develop a recurring relationship so that we can be in this together and provide value for each other. We need to be a network. We'll probably have some people come and go over time, but my intent is to have a family here where we support each other, we lean on each other, and that's very, very important to me, and really a part of why we're doing this. The last thing, I guess, is to kind of walk through the schedule and how this is going to work. I mentioned that clearly I'm not a robot. So I'll have to be managing my time. The way I see this working, and there's a draft schedule up on the website right now, is we start off with something that maybe we call breakfast, team breakfast, between 7 and 9 a.m., where, Europe is winding down. There are opportunities there. I've often mentioned that there's this 6 to 7 a.m. Eastern trend, and or 7 to 8 a.m. Eastern trend that's right before the cowboy market opens, and there's some really good opportunities there. So we're all going to have to manage our energies, I will be here during that time, arriving around 7 o'clock. I'll have my coffee. I'll be waking up and or trading. There might be some times where I'm actually up earlier. I'm up at 6, and if there's opportunities, we're going to talk about it. Okay, and we're going to narrate through those opportunities. We've got people in this room from Europe, from Australia, from a lot of different places. So I'm still working on having someone facilitate. I've had one person say that he might want to do it during the Europe hours, the Europe Open. But I plan on being here for midday and then the transition to the U.S. market. So that'll be good. Again, I see a lot of rooms that are kind of doing a 9 to 5 deal, and providing good service, in some cases for that. But I still scratch my head because there's opportunities that I feel that are greater, better, cleaner, crisper. Before and after. So we're gonna do that. So we start off with that, and then we get into a formal 9 o'clock briefing. We'll go over levels, right? We'll have a standard cadence there. We'll have another check. These are official briefings, so I've got 5 of them. So we get 9 o'clock. We got 10:30 after the initial balance closes to reassess. We've got one at noon for midday check. We've got one for 2 o'clock. Which is, when, as it used to be, the boys would come back on the floor, boys and gals. But still often when you're outside the holiday season, that you still get another shot at 2 o'clock. We certainly saw that yesterday in the rhythm. And then we'll have a daily wrap at, I think, 4? And then the room shuts down at 5, right? 5 to 6. I have dinner with my lovely wife, who I thank dearly for putting up with me all these years and for putting up with me in this effort. There's a show right now. I forget, is it called Alex Inc. or something that just came out? Where a guy, left his job to basically start his own business. And so we're watching that together. It's so cool. And laughing as the parallels are pretty scary here. So that's the formal schedule. And then after the break, we will come back actually here. And it'll be monitoring the market. We'll have some chat back and forth. But if there are opportunities as Asia starts opening, Nikkei opens at 8 p.m., Shanghai at 9, the room will be open kind of like it was in the morning. The chat room will be open 24/7, but in terms of my presence, it'll be a little bit like that 7 to 9 a.m. interval in the morning, where we will certainly, be watching and monitoring any opportunities. So I will come and go at times over the course of the day, just because I need 10 minutes to shut down, right? Go out, take a walk around my beautiful home here. So that's kind of how this is going to work, all right? And we'll tweak as we need to going forward. So I want to get all that out of the way. Again, if you want to help me get the word out and get some folks you think would benefit from this, great. Just let me know. Email me with their name and have them reference you so that I can tie those things together. All right, let's talk a little bit about ES. ES rhythms, head fakes. They're brutal. And we're all getting caught in it at times. And so it's going to be important for us excuse me, as individuals and as a team, as we're watching this, to be alert of them, to anticipate them, and to therefore be able to manage through them. Trying not to sneeze. We saw this a lot of discussion on yesterday, with the downtrend midday, right? We popped up in the morning, overreaction overnight, right? Popped up in the morning, didn't hold the level, started coming back down, dribbling down. And then a number of people, including some pros that I follow, got I don't say shaken, but could not adapt to the move back up that broke some immediate consolidation to the north, that had been in place for about an hour, and went all the way up to VWAP. That was a very tough trade to take on the short side because, again, you had just broken this prolonged consolidation period. And so what most of us had to do is wait until it actually broke back down through south of the consolidation period. So a lot of these head fakes, and even on the way down, in 1 to 3 p.m. in the afternoon, it's you have this business where ES is going down 4, it's going up 6, in some cases, on the other side of the entry, the break price, right, just to shake, or for whatever reason. And then it goes down, 10, and then it goes up, 8, and then it goes down 12. It's a rhythm that's very unique. A lot of shakes at the turns. So we've got to be very careful to make sure we stay out of the crap, and that we use our filtering mechanisms like the QM delta, trend, the backdrop, and the bias grid, and our collective narration as we're going through this. That's going to be so key. To eliminate the noise. So there's a lot of that going on, especially in ES. It's the main market that I follow, the main market that I trade, right? Just know that it's there, anticipate it, expect it. We do have tools available to all of us that can help filter that information. Just by knowing it's there and talking about it, that should be of good help for everybody. So that's that. We're still in a daily downtrend. Dailies on a sell. We closed the market with hourly on a sell, 30-minute on a sell, 15-minute on a sell. So those are back aligned again after the 2-day run up, thanks in part to the Trumpism that came out the other night and the tariff news. So that's what I got today. Okay, a month to go. Again, I thank you. I'm honored by the level of interest. I've had a lot of people reach out to me. I'm not doing the money show at this point. They have asked me to do that. I don't see value in it for really, what I would want people to get out of something like that. And there's a cost for me and a cost of traveling. I have been approached by the folks over at Wealth 365, which is an online trading conference center that really is kind of taking the place of Traders Expo because people don't have to travel, and it's pretty darn good if you go on there. Was it wealth365.com, or just Google search it. All the speakers that you would typically see in person are there. Dr. Brett's there, and that sort of a thing. So that down the road, probably do some stuff there. And I did forget one other thing on the, I've got a note now on the Join Us tab in terms of we have a relationship with the Future Path, a brokerage firm, which is my brokerage firm, and Damon Pavlatos, if I'm pronouncing your last name right, Damon, I may not be, I apologize, who has teamed with Linda Ratchke, both personally and professionally. They're married to each other over the years, and he is providing us with discounted infrastructure rates, and we'll be able to match or beat commissions if you are trading right now. So I get nothing from this. There are no kickbacks. I get nothing other than trying to continue to build a network. So I thank him. One advantage if you do that is you'll be able to benefit from the rhythmic data stream, which actually is the feed that powers the charts that we use, that feeds the Sierra charts. FuturePath has the Photon software. So if you're interested, there's a couple of logos on the site now, the Join Us tab. That'll get you to both FuturePath and to Photon. And Photon, if you put it side by side, I do this quite frequently with TOS, for example. It's like night and day. Photon servers are co-located with the exchanges. It's immediate. It's just incredible. And I'm not trying to sell it. It's superb. and they have trading by the charts on that as well. So, check it out if you're interested. Give Future Path a call, give Damon a call, or drop him an email. Tell him, reference my room, reference my site, and he will take care of you. Really, really good guy, family-run business, and I think very highly of them. So that's what I got today. Again, Saturday, April 7th. We are 1 month from launch. I thank you. Let's do this together, and let's make a lot of money this year, folks. Life's certainly more about money. The last sentence in my book, right? Keep your friends and family much closer than your bank account. I still mean that, but let's go make some money and do some good things with it. So that's what I got. Have a great weekend. I will be in touch. Thank you all. Take care.